everybody, Mrs. Worland with the Knox County Public Library and the Tutor Team. So today, I'm going to be working with those of you in 2nd and 3rd grade. Now, last week, if you remember, we practiced on some addition facts. So today, our focus is going to be on subtraction. You guys know that you need to have your basic facts memorized. So today, we're going to go through some cards. And I'm going to give a quick pause for you to give the answer, and then I'll say the answer. Then we're going to go to a story problem because 2nd and 3rd grade standards, you guys have to be able to work story problems. Sometimes they're 1-step, 2-step, maybe even a 3-step. So we're going to look and see what we have today. Then we're going to work on subtraction. Now, when we subtract, sometimes we have to go next door and regroup. Sometimes they call it borrow. So we're going to practice on some problems like that. You might want to pause the video real quick, run, go grab a piece of paper and a pencil, and get ready because it's about to begin. So let's look at our problems today. Here we go. 9, 4, 5, 6, 2, 5, 1, 3, 9, 7, 9, 4, 4, 6, 5, 6, 8, 6, 7, 9, 2, 8, 7, 3, 1, 3, 2, 8, 8, 5. You don't have to have fancy flashcards. Just ask someone to give you some simple subtraction problems and you say the answer. You can make your own if you have index cards or strips of paper. Okay, are you ready for today's story problem? All right, so I'm going to bring our board over. And every story problem, we need to look, read through it carefully. Think about what they're asking. Okay, here we go. Rob is on level 16 of his video game. He found a magic wand, earning 45 points. That doubled when he caught the fireball. These were added to his 574 points he already had earned. How many points does he have? Okay, so what do we have to find? Right, we have to find how many points does he have. So let's look at the problem. Rob is on level 16 of his video game. Okay, is that information that we need? You're right, we don't need that information. So I'm just going to mark that out. Sometimes they try to tell you things that you really don't need in order to solve the problem. Just mark it out. Easy as that. All right, he found the magic wand, earning 45 points. Well, it doesn't matter that he found a magic wand. That's great. But he earned 45 points. Okay, that's probably important. That's why I kind of bubbled it. That doubled when he caught the fireball. What does doubled mean? Good. Doubled Like doubles when you add math facts, like 4 plus 4 is 8, you double it. Now, doubling can be done two different ways, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. These were added to his 574 points he had already earned. So we know that he already has 574 points. How many points does he have? Okay, so what would you do first? Hope you've been thinking about this. Remember, you can always pause this at any time, work it out, and then check your work with me. Or you can just do it along with me. It's whatever works best for you. Well, we know that he earned 45 points because he found that magic wand. Now, it says they doubled. There are two different ways we can figure this out. One way is when I say it doubled, remember I just said a couple minutes ago, it's like an addition problem, like doubles, 4 plus 4, 5 plus 5, 10 plus 10. So I could actually add 45 to itself. Do you agree? So let's go ahead and do that. 5 plus 5 is 10. Now remember, take that one next door, that one group of 10. Don't forget to add it in. Otherwise, your answer is not going to be right. Okay, so let's think about this. I'm going to start at the top. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus my other 4 is 9. And that makes 90. Now, these were added. These means those 90 points were added to the 574 points he already had. So, what would you do? That's right. If you said take your 574 and add the 90. Now, guys, make sure you line those numbers up, okay? Because if you don't, you're going to have a mess on your hands, okay? So, I'm going to put a 0 there just to kind of mark my spot because I'm funny like that and I want to make sure that everything is lined up and ready to go. And I'm just writing over that to make it a little bit darker. So 574 plus 90. Let's start in the ones column. 4 plus 0 is, you're right, 4. 7 plus 9, yeah, got to know those addition facts. 7 plus 9 is, you're right, it is 16. 1 plus 5 is 6, plus 0 is still 6. So he has 664 points. Now, third graders, you guys started talking about multiplication. So let's look at this from a third grader standpoint, okay? Third grade. He earned those 45 points from his wand. Okay? Now, doubled. In multiplication, what number can you multiply another number by to double it? You said 2? You are right. So we're going to multiply by 2. Okay, so here we go. 5 times 2 is 10. 2 times 4 is 8. And don't forget, you have that 1 up there. So that makes a 9. So you have 90. Then you go ahead and do the same thing over here. You take your 574 and you add your 90 to it. And yes, if you feel better putting that 0 there, absolutely, positively, you can do that. 4 plus 0 is 4. 7 plus 9 is 16. Carry that 1 over. 1 plus 5 is 6, plus 0 is still 6. So 664. Second grade, you would have added to have doubled. Third grade, you could have also multiplied by 2. Good job. Now, let's get ready and let's talk about subtracting numbers today. Now, folks, I have always told my friends, first thing you need to do is you really need to make sure that you know if you're adding or subtracting. Total game changer. So let's start out up here and let's look at our board. Let's say I have the number 372. Okay, can everybody see that? Now, we're going to take away 139. Now, remember last week I talked about how I always tell all my friends, circle the sign. The sign tells me to subtract. So that means I'm going to count down. Too many of our friends, they see the problem and they go, I'm starting. I'm not even going to look at my numbers. I know what to do. Okay, that's great. But I really think you should stop and pause and look at the problem. So I'm going to start here. You always start in your ones. I have 2. If I have 2, can I take 9 away from that? I have 2. Can I take 9 away? No, you can't. Can't happen. So what do? That's right. You have to go to the tens and you have to borrow a group of 10. Don't forget, mark it out. You're taking one group, so your 7 becomes a 6. You add that group of 10, and now you have a 12. Now ask yourself, if I have 12, can I take 9 away? That's right, because the bigger number's on top. So if I have 12 and I take 9 away, that leaves 3. You got it. Now, I have 6. Can I take 3 away? Well, yeah. 6 minus 3 is 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. 233. Now, I've always told my kids, when you start, if you have more on the floor, that means that that biggest number in the ones column is on the floor or on the bottom, you're going to have to go next door and regroup, okay? Just a little something else to help you remember how to do the problem. So let's move on and let's try another one. Now, sometimes problems, they're not so pretty. So for example, let's take the number 714 minus 378. All right, are you ready? Remember, you can always put it on pause. You work it out and then hit resume, and you can listen as I work through it, or you can just work through it with me, whatever works best for you. All right. Sometimes they don't do this real nice and neat. Sometimes they throw addition and subtraction together. So you got to figure it out and know what the sign tells you to do. Okay? So let's look. We start in the ones. We always start in the ones. I have 4. Can I take 8 away? No, because see, my biggest number is on the floor. So I go and I borrow a group. Notice I marked it out. You've got to mark out. That leaves a 0. What does the 4 become? That's right, it becomes a 14. Very good. Now, I have 14. Can I take 8 from it? Most certainly can. 14 minus 8 is 6. Now, I have 0. Can I take 7 from it? No. More on the floor. So we go to the hundreds and we ask to borrow. It becomes 6. And now that's a 10. So I have 10. Now can I take 7 away? Yes, I can. That leaves 3. 6 minus 3 is 3. So I have 336 is my answer. All right. What if you were presented with this problem? You have 900. Okay? Yeah, I know. Getting a little big there. And I want to take away 314. All right, so let's look at this problem for just a moment. That's right, we're going to start in the ones. Good job. All right, so I have 0. Can I take 4 away? 0. Can I take 4 away? No. So I go next door so I can ask to borrow or regroup. Holy smokes, it's another 0. If there's 0 there, I can't borrow. So now you have to travel all the way to the hundreds. That's right. I'm going to borrow my group. And I'm going to make that an 8. Now I can make that a 10. When you're at this point, now you go back to your ones again. And you ask yourself, I have 0. Can I take 4 away? Well, we already established that. And we said, no, it cannot happen. So now I go over to the 10s. Hey, because I regrouped from the hundreds, now I have something I can borrow. That 10 now becomes a 9. This 0 is now a 10. Now I have 10. Can I take the 4 away? You're right. Absolutely, it can happen. So 10 minus 4 is 6. Great job. Now, I have 9. Can I take 1 away from it? Absolutely. That becomes an 8. Now, I have 8. Can I take 3 from 8? Yeah, that's a 5. You're right. So our answer is 586. Okay? Now, 3rd grade. We're going to do a couple for you, and we're going to bump it up a little bit. Hey, 2nd grade, why don't you try? You never know what's going to happen until you try it. So, let's do 3,426 minus 109. Now, here's what I would do. This is just me. Doesn't mean you have to do it. I'm going to put a 0 there just to hold that spot. It just makes me feel better. Okay? So, now that we have that established, where are we going to start? That's right. We're going to start at the ones. Now, look at that carefully. I have 6. And they want me to take 9 away. Did you remember if there's more on the floor, you have to go next door? That's right. So I'm going to regroup here. And the 2 becomes a, you're right, it becomes a 1. What does the 6 become now? Well, I'm going to add that group of 10. So it's going to become 16. Now, why don't we go ahead and subtract and see if we're going to have to regroup anymore. I have 16. Can I take the 9 away? You're right, you can. So what is 16 minus 9? This is why you have to know those subtraction facts. So practice. It's a 7. I have 1, and I don't have to take anything away from it. Woo! It's a 1. Now, I have 4. Can I take 1 away? Yes, because more is on top, okay? So 4, take away 1 is 3. And here we go, look at this one. 3 minus 0 is 3. So my answer is 3,317. Okay? How'd you do? All right. Let's look at what would happen if I did a problem with all those zeros. Now, gang, it's the same thing whether it's a hundreds problem or a thousands problem, okay? You have to stop and think it through. So let's say I want to take away 3,147. I'm surprised none of you caught me the last time because I forgot the important part. Circle, to subtract, and I'm going to be counting down. It's important. Yes, have you noticed that the lights are turning out? It's making it just a little bit easier to see. So, are you ready? Let's do it. I have 0. Can I take 7 away? We've talked about it. More on the floor. Go next door. There's another 0. Oh, can't do it. Here's another 0. Can't do it. Well, thank goodness I can get to the thousands and I can ask to regroup. So I make that a 5. Can you see that? There you go. Now, that becomes a 10. Let's start back. Go over here. Can I do it? You're right. It's not going to happen. Can I borrow? That's right. Not going to happen. Oh my goodness. I get to the hundreds. I can borrow. I mark it out. It becomes a 9. This becomes a 10. Okay, so we got to start the process again. I have 0. Can I take 7 away? Can't do it. So I go next door. Can I regroup now? Can I ask? Absolutely, because I have that 10 there. Don't forget, mark out. Get rid of it. Because now it's a 9. What does this become? Because I borrowed a group of 10. That's right. We're going to have 10. Now can we do it? I have 10. Can I take 7 away? I can. So what is 10 minus 7? 3. You're right. Great job. All right. Whew, got that. Now I have 9. Remember? 9 minus 4. So what is 9 minus 4? 5. That's right. I have a 9 here. Now, what is 9 minus 1? 8. You're right. See why I said you've got to know those subtraction facts? I have a 5, and I'm going to take 3 away. And that leaves 2. So our answer is 2,853. Now, friends, somebody at home, you can ask them to make these problems for you. Super easy. Just remember, a step at a time. Always look at your sign. Take it by the ones, then the tens, then the hundreds. Third grade, you can even try the thousands one. Second grade, if you feel comfortable trying a 1,000 one, ask somebody. They'll write one down for you. So thank you so much for joining me this week. Remember, this will be on the Knox County Public Library's website. There's going to be a hyperlink, and you guys can always go back and rewatch these videos. Remember, it's going to be a good thing because school is going to be starting. So have a wonderful day. Be safe